Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break. Brought to you by Sandhills Global. Live from Lincoln, America. Here's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
Husker Online, Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
And longtime college football assistant coach, Bill Busch.
I want to buy a couple ducks. I'm bringing 2 ducks to the office.
This is Early Break.
Good morning. Happy Thursday to you, Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, Bill Busch on Early Break. This duel is back together again. Bill is back from his travels to St. Louis.
How was the drive back, Bill?
The drive back was great. It was interesting talking to everyone there with the Rams leaving, and we talked about the Cardinals leaving, also the St. Louis the football Cardinals leaving. And one guy goes, "We got the Battlehawks."
The Battlehawks.
Yeah, the Battlehawks.
And their season begins soon.
Yes.
Help me with that.
The Battlehawks was that XFL, USFL, whatever, UFL, whatever league that is. They goes, get the battle. Guy's pretty pumped about it.
Hey,
get the Battlehawks.
Good for him.
Yeah,
we got the Battlehawks. Did you look at him?
No, I didn't, because I love those leagues.
You're like
rock
on.
Oh, yeah,
right.
I do. I love spring
Did
football.
you recognize the Battlehawks?
Absolutely. Yeah.
They have like the best attendance.
They
in
get the
that
best
league.
attendance.
Yeah.
They do. They get like
Fans
30-some
miss
thousand.
football in St. Louis.
Yeah.
They're going to the Battlehawks.
How do you know that?
Well, last year when things were slow, that was something happening. I remember reading about that the Battlehawks actually had pretty good attendance for their football games in St. Louis.
And you drove back yesterday. Did you pay attention to the fields?
Bex.
Yes. 76 is a rough number. I might be off a few, but 76
It's a
fields.
long tally to make.
Yes.
That had
Yes.
Beck signs.
Yeah, and I'm guesstimating a little bit there,
That's okay.
but right there, I think I sent you a picture of me trapped again
Yes.
behind the governor.
I saw that.
Behind
That
the
was pretty
governor.
early in the drive too.
It was pretty early in the drive. I was trapped behind the governor again.
That was amazing.
It now that I know exactly what's going on, because you nailed it. Then I had a bunch of, and I sent you information from text message I received about exactly how it works on the road from truck drivers.
But you had a pleasant drive.
Yeah, it was fine. It really was. It was fine, except for what are we doing right now?
This is idle chit chat, Bill.
I whip into a Casey's along the interstate to fuel and get some coffee. And I go in and go to the bathroom too. The lady goes, "Hey, there's no bathrooms, there's no coffee, there's no anything.
Why?
We don't have any water." And I look out, I point outside, I go, "Could that be the reason?" And water is just shooting out of a fire hydrant. Just shooting out of the fire hydrant full speed. And I go, "Could that be the problem?"
Where
right
was
there?
this? Where was this?
Don't know that. Someplace in Missouri is all I know.
Someplace in Missouri.
Someplace
That's
in
fine.
And they responded with what after that question?
Then she kind of looks out there and goes, "Could be. That could be it right there. That could be the reason."
That might be
You
the
went
one.
to another stop.
Well, I'd already got fuel, yes. And then I had to restop just to get coffee. And that ate up some time.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
But you were not a huge hurry, right?
No, there wasn't a pressing issue to
Right.
get back. There was not.
I mean, that would be a great drive back.
It was relaxing. You listen to a lot of radio.
Yeah, did you hear anything in particular that was interesting?
Childers.
Childers.
There's a little bit of something will come up on Bill's
Okay.
show.
Okay.
That I got some information on that I thought was interesting.
I'm interested
Which, by the way, show tease. That's going to be a next segment. Bill's Thrills. We're moving it up from 7:30. Bill has to depart early today.
I'm
So.
going to Wayne. I'm going to Wayne, America.
This is a lot for me to take in.
Going
right
to
now.
Wayne, Nebraska, to Wayne State College to do a speaking event.
That's why you don't have your
Yes.
cap on.
No cap on.
No
yes.
ball
Look at his hair.
No ball
His
cap,
hair.
yes.
Hair looks
It's
good.
regal.
Thank you.
It looks
I
really
appreciate
good.
that. Yeah, so I have
The
to
hair
go
report.
going to Wayne, Nebraska. Very excited.
So when
about
do you?
that. Wayne
okay.
State Wildcats.
When do
Go
you have to
Wildcats.
leave?
Probably about that's the Wildcat signal right there. Yeah. Probably about 7:24.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes.
That's acceptable.
Yes. It's not. I'm not busting out like at 6:45.
Why is Jake wearing a Nebraska quarter zip?
Why not?
Yeah.
You look like Mark Whipple over there.
Maybe I can help.
Did you get that from Whip? He departed pretty quickly.
Yeah, we're the same size, me and Whip.
I think Steve was the one who were you the one who saw him, or someone told you that that we played the game on Friday.
Gone on Saturday.
On Saturday, he was in an airport going to Phoenix.
I wonder if it was Friday he was on the.
No, it wouldn't have
Saturday.
been. Yeah, it had to be Saturday, but
he was gone.
Someone saw him in the airport, and he was on his way already to Phoenix.
Yeah, yeah, and he left Jake his clothes.
I recall reports of when Mike Kavanaugh was let go by Nebraska. O-line coach back in the day. He wheeled out of there.
Was that
quick.
Kavanaugh that did that?
Someone saw me. He just wheeled out. He's had his tire screeching in the parking lot. Was out of there.
That could be true. I don't know that.
What a way to depart.
That might be.
I'm out of here.
Old wise tale. Anyway,
I thought several people reported that they saw that happen.
That's possible. You have a good memory.
Yes.
I don't remember that, but okay. What else is going on?
Well, we'll get to it in a second here, but I had a whole rundown set up, and then everything broke in news in the afternoon yesterday, which we'll get to in a second with Nebraska. A lot of Nebraska stuff.
I told you to hold it.
You did.
I said
Bill had intel apparently. Hey, stuff's going to happen today. Just calm down.
Well, we knew it was an issue, and Jake sent the rundown like at 10:15 for the next day. I'm like, well, what if something happens today? But Jake had it all worked up.
Here's
I got the text message. I wasn't even halfway through my drive home.
I'll change that
early.
It was early.
It was
really
in the morning
early
for sure.
Yeah, you wanted to get
the rundown.
That told me that Jake had other things going on that day of leisure.
I sent it at 11:30 in the morning yesterday. 11:30.
I'm like, well, what if something happens today? We could talk about.
And then at 4:37. Oh God, I was going to send a picture to you guys. I was at Sierra at 4:37. Yeah, I was at.
You didn't report how that went.
Hold on.
Okay. Hang on. Did you get a coat?
Idle chit chat. 4:37, I pulled into the lot at Sierra, and then the news broke of John Cook. Literally right then.
So you didn't go in?
No, I had to go.
Oh, no.
I had to go right. I mean, it was.
So you have no new coat either?
No, Sean was like, you got to have your column done at 6:30 or 7. I'm like, oh, it's 4:40. I'm not even at home. Okay, I'm going to have
I'm at Sierra, Sean. I'm
have to go. I have to go. I mean, I had to go. I mean, and that was it. So no, I was in the lot.
Did you consider going to the food court?
No.
And just writing from there?
That'd be amazing.
I did have my
Sips writing from the food court at the Gateway Mall. Yes, we need that sometime. Visual evidence of that happening.
It would be really
Yes, because people will see you.
I'm not.
Is that Sip writing over there?
Writing
on the phone. He's writing. I think his
so no, I didn't go in. I'm gonna have to do it maybe today.
At least you made the effort to get there.
I was in the lot.
Proud of you for going.
Yeah, I'll show you the photo.
And you were going to go in, and then you couldn't.
I took a photo for you guys out of my windshield, and then literally, you get notifications. And I was like, what's this? John Cook is now Raph. God bless him, Chris Raph.
Yeah,
he works here.
Yeah, he had he wondered aloud on a text if this was happening earlier, like 2 hours earlier. So people were kind of scrambling. So I kind of knew it could happen.
Raph had intel.
Raph had some intel.
Raph had intel here.
Yeah. Had there, as there in the history of sport, ever been a faster replacement?
No.
I don't think so. In the history of sport, within 9 minutes of the announcement of the new head coach was also announced.
What happens, Bill, often is it gets jumped by some media person, the news, and it gets all scrambled and weird. This didn't. This was totally controlled by both schools without anybody knowing. So they could do it that way. They could just, John's done. And by the way, here we're announcing our new coach. And nobody knew. I mean, it was interesting. And this is, now we've evolved out of Idle Chit Chat.
Hang on. This is Idle Chit. That was Idle Chit Chat, sponsored by our friends at Renew.
David!
Please call or text David at 402-833-3858.
He stopped us.
385. Go to renewyourauto.com. They do everything from body shop, ceramic coatings, window tintings, and more. Renewyourauto.com. Yes, keep going on John Cook.
The most interesting thing I thought was one of the recruits. Her name is Jaden Robinson. She's an opposite.
She the one from Baylor?
No, she's from Missouri City, Texas.
Yeah.
And she was I don't know why. I was interesting to me. She said she was shocked by the news. So the recruits didn't know.
Were you shocked by the news?
I wasn't. I was not shocked only because Raph had kind of given me a heads up. But I didn't. Are you asking me if I knew it was coming? I did not know it was coming.
No, I wasn't. I had no idea it was coming, and I was not surprised.
Oh, you're not surprised?
No. Coach
Age 68?
Yeah, it wasn't like, no. There was not zero. My whole take was, I'm sure what he had this, obviously this was somewhat on his mind, was like, if I can somehow win this I have a great team. if I can somehow win this and drop the mic and walk off with a national championship. And I'm sure there's probably like, well, we're going to be right back in that same spot again next year. But no, at age 68, no, that's not a shocking.
No, was I shocked? I'd say no, not. I don't know. I didn't know it was coming. I guess that's the best way to put it. I didn't know it was coming.
I don't think he gave really any hints of him retiring in his press conferences to end the season. Did he at all?
No.
After they lost in the Final Four of Penn State?
There were no. But Jake,
that's probably why there's some surprise, at least on my side. Not the age thing. You're right. Great career. Not surprised at 68 to retire. But I don't think we were seeing hints of, hey, I'm stepping down this offseason and somebody else is taking over.
Right. I thought he would. I mean, if you would have asked me yesterday at 10 a.m., is Cook going to retire? Yeah. I'd say no. I think he'll keep going for a few years. You know, he's healthy. I think he's healthy. I mean, I don't assume anybody's wealth, and I don't assume their health. I don't know. I mean, who knows? But he seems healthy, so I thought he'd just keep rolling. That's a great team coming back. So I didn't know, but you get to his record, Jake.
25 seasons as Nebraska's head coach, 722. And 103.
So that's a winning percentage of 875,
which is by far the best in the country in that time frame of 25 years.
Yeah, the best winning.
722 and 103, 4 national titles. The last one in 2017 for John Cook, but obviously an unbelievable, incredible run for John Cook as Nebraska's head coach. And before that was very good at Wisconsin, also in a short time.
How many coaches do you say this about? He elevated an entire sport. You don't say that about many. Right. I don't know who else there's probably some others over the years that you'd say it about, but John Cook elevated an entire sport. And well, who had a great quote about him is Troy Dannon. Troy Dannon, by the way, puts things in perspective very well with his words. And I hope to God I can find it. Here it is. John Cook, according to Troy Dannon, this is Troy Dannon, leaves a legacy of excellence that places him alongside a very small group of coaches who can be considered the greatest in college athletics history, regardless of sport. Hello. Yeah, I'd say he did pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'd say he's right. And once you guys say at Nebraska, if you were saying the top coaches, any sport, all time, I don't know what order you'd put them in, but is it Devaney, Osborne, Cook?
Well, yes.
Is that it? That's it.
I think it has to be.
Yeah, it's the 3, right?
That's
Devaney, Osborne, Cook.
And who could push back on that, by the way?
I don't think
who would try to push back on that.
I don't think anybody could. There's some others that you'd put in there, that come right after that. Francis Allen, right?
Yep, sure.
I always say Van Horn, because of how quickly he whipped that around and got them going into the CWS. I don't know. There's a few others you could name, but I think the top 3 are easy. I just don't know what order you put them in: Devaney, Osborne, or Osborne, Devaney, Cook.
Yeah, you have to give so much credit that the one situation that Coach Cook had was that when he came into it, that Pettit had already won one.
Correct.
He won one in 95.
So there was a start to what was going on.
Program already.
And very, very solid. Where Devaney, no. He won 2 when he came in 65.
62.
62. You're right. 65. He was 65. He visited my dad in Spencer, Nebraska.
No way.
What?
Yeah.
We didn't know this.
What?
Yeah. He spoke at the athletic banquet in Spencer, Nebraska. They flew him up there in a tiny little prop plane. They had to line up. They had to line up the cars along the runway when they left to fly because there's no place to leave. I remember that because I was not born yet. My mom was pregnant with me during this time. True story. So
he's knocking on a tummy.
Yeah. So
little guy.
Yeah. So 62, and by 70 he had a national championship.
So Devaney, Osborne, Cook.
Just because of what he had to take over.
Yeah. Now, though, also that there's no guarantees when you take over a program that's rolling. Sometimes it's not
100.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's no guarantee. And it doesn't. Kalen DeBoer would tell you that it's no guarantee. I mean, to a certain degree, Frank would tell you it's no guarantee. Right.
One of the best retirements there are of someone of of this ability of coaching was Saban, because he was getting ready for a team meeting, and just all of a sudden just called his wife and was like, "Yeah, I'm done."
Terry.
Yeah, I'm done. I mean, they're talking about knowing.
Yeah.
Knowing he was meeting with people that he had a detailed meeting with his team and was like, you know what? I'm done. And so why did nobody know about it? It's real simple, because he told his wife either. He told his wife, but literally about like 5 minutes before the whole thing happened.
So that's informative about what I said earlier about the recruit, because she didn't find out. The recruits didn't find out till an hour before the news broke. So I don't know how John. John's going to address the media today at 10 a.m.
Where will that be?
It'll be at the Hawks Championship Center.
You expect a big crowd there, large crowd, massive crowd.
I don't know. It's in the Hawks. It's just in that little media room, so it can't be a terribly massive.
Okay, full crowd for the small room.
Yeah, yeah.
I think if that is somewhat if it's half empty, I'll be surprised. That should be a pretty full room for this retirement.
It's a little room, so I was a little surprised that I gotta say, Jake, I was a little surprised they're having it in there. I thought maybe they'd have
bigger spot.
Right. Yeah. Anyway,
the accolades on John Cook. We gave you the record, gave you his titles. Also, 12 NCAA semifinal appearances. That's obviously the Final Four. 12 Final Four appearances. 9 Big 12 titles. 5 Big 10 titles. Also had 5 Olympians play for him at Nebraska. 5 Olympians. 3 National Players of the Year, and 25 academic All-Americans. 72 All-Americans in general. 72 All-American players. Think about what you said about football all the time, about not having first-round draft picks, not having All-Americans. John Cook in 25 years had 72 All-American players play for him for Husker volleyball.
And it got to the point, I don't know if I can give him a bigger compliment. It got to the point where you were surprised if they didn't make the Final Four.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, think about it.
Yeah. The Final Four.
Yeah.
And if they don't make it, you're extremely upset.
What's going on?
Yeah. Are we not even practicing down there?
Yeah.
What's going on over at the Bob?
Volleyball?
Are we not even – what are we doing?
That's quite a compliment, right? I mean, I hate to say it this way, you kind of started taking it for granted. Yeah, they're going to be in the Final Four.
Just in the last 2 years, they lost in the finals and lost in the semis.
Right. Final Four. 12 Final Fours. Pretty good.
In 25 years. Half of his years were Final Four. That's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Now, Danny Bus Boom Kelly's going to come in, and there is an incredible foundation. The machine's rolling at a high level.
Oh, by the way, she was the runner-up this year in volleyball. Lost to Penn State in the finals.
Right.
Well, second place.
I would imagine the recruits, and I don't know the exact. I'm not up to speed on volleyball recruiting, but most likely they know Coach Kelly.
She recruited them.
She recruited them also to Louisville.
At least two of them.
Yeah. So they're like, okay, we know exactly what this is. Okay. So I think that made it very seamless for that to hold on to recruits.
I think
at that time.
Yeah, we're talking about Jaden Robinson, who I referenced a bit ago. She's an opposite hitter, and there's an outside hitter named Gabby DeVita, Abby Barmore for On 3. Husker Online spoke to both, and they basically said what Bill said, that they were recruited to Louisville by Bus Boom Kelly, so they know.
Yeah,
and they know the staff. We should cover this, Jake. That Jalen Reyes, that's how you pronounce his name.
Jalen Reyes.
Reyes, thank you. And Kelly Hunter will be part of Bus Boom's staff, so they stay. They help recruit these people. So yeah, it seems pretty seamless. There was a third recruit in this 2026 class that Abby didn't get a hold of, so we don't know about her. But 2 of them are in. But they got a whole senior season to play, so you know how it goes. You got to hold them, right?
Absolutely. But I do believe that it works at different times. But having somebody to step into, there's nobody that has this high a profile of volleyball team as far as fandom. Nothing compares to the attention and obviously the success,
attendance.
So having a sitting head coach come in is brilliant, and this would be a lot for an assistant. Be a lot for an assistant coach. There's something that can handle it. I get it,
especially someone who hadn't done it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Assistant coach that got promoted or brought in from someplace else. that would be very difficult because of it's a different vibe for this volleyball team when you just talk about attendance and what the fans are like, and there's a lot to it.
It is a global brand.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, there is a lot to that. It's a huge job.
The Dallas Cowboys of volleyball.
I think, like Bill said earlier, I mean, the fact that they had the replacement announced within 10 minutes of the announcement of John Cook retiring, and it's somebody that and has done a really incredible job at Louisville. Yeah. You didn't allow the panic to set in about, oh God, Nebraska screwed, volleyball is going down. No, they got a wonderful, very respected replacement for John Cook that hopefully keeps this thing going and even better if possible.
Troy Dannon was interested in discussing all that, Jake. He said it was maybe Troy Dannon, the AD.
Yes.
It was maybe a once-in-a-lifetime sequence of how it worked, in that it just all went down without the media knowing. There was no hitches. He said Louisville and Nebraska worked really well together behind the scenes. He said the fact that the women heard from the coaches and not from anybody else, very rarely do you get that during these transitions. Oh, I've seen it a zillion times. They get interrupted and it gets crazy, kind of crazy. And the kids don't know. It gets leaked out. This no leaks, nothing. It all went down very smoothly, which I got to say, I like it kind of like that. Now, Bill and Jake, you might say, wait a second, aren't you into breaking news? Yeah, kind of, but I'm okay when it just happens the way it should happen.
Well, I love the way it happened. I love it was great. The first information that I read on anything was that, like I said, I was busy doing something about that time of day. I read that Coach Cook had retired, and that the new head coach had been named. All in the same. It was like, I'm like, that's great.
How did it go, Jake? They did it on, Nebraska does it on its social media accounts.
You find it
on Twitter.
I'll find it
yeah, you find it. And Bill, here's what happens. So they tweet a photo of John, and it's a nice presentation on Twitter that he's just riding off into the sunset. A legend retires or something like that. And then it wasn't very long after that they announced on Twitter Busch Boom Kelly. So it was like, oh, okay,
this is over. Exact time here on this. But
now, if there would have been some kind of odd occurrence where the news of Cook got out, immediately Busch Boom Kelly would have been speculated at the top of every.
So absolutely
per Twitter, I'm doing a deep dive here. It was 4:42 p.m. The official tweet from Nebraska.
Well, I thought it was 4:37.
I got Huskers at
you're probably right. I mean, I don't know why.
Let's argue over that 6 minutes. Let's make sure that's important right now. That's super important to the show.
Okay, 4:37.
Yeah. I thought it was 4:38.
I've got 4:42 on mine, and then at 5:02, so just about 15 minutes, they announced Danny Busch Boom Kelly.
15 minutes.
It was within 20 minutes. So very, 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 very quick.
With zero knowledge, I'm gonna bet there was kind of a phone call, probably from Coach Cook to Coach Busch Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. Interest?
You ready?
Yep. You're ready to roll with this? Okay, I'll talk to the athletic director and kind of go from here, because that it's that Coach Cook had some sort of input.
Oh yeah.
On who is coming in next.
Well, and
I'm sure there's been some. Hey, Coach, any idea who else you might want to replace you? I'm sure that was asked.
Right. No, But this is probably an example, though, where Dan independently would have looked at Busch Boom Kelly, if not just said, no, we're hiring Busch Boom Kelly. It was kind of a no-brainer, right?
Absolutely. You couldn't have had an easier no-brainer.
Right. So this all worked out.
I'm looking at Danny Busch Boom's her run at Louisville from 2017 to 2024. Again, her record itself also 203 and 44. It's an 822 percentage. In conference play, 121 and 21, 852 percentage. Incredible for her. She obviously runners up this year.
Final Four last year, correct?
Final Four, Elite Eight last year. Looks like semi runners up 2 years ago, in 2022 with a 31-3 record. Oh, by the way, the year before that they made the Final Four. I had one loss. That was their one loss was the Final Four. They were 32-1, and then before that again, Elite Eight. So just very, very good success at Louisville for her. So, I mean, her expectations are going to be to do the same thing as John Cook, Final Four or bust for Nebraska volleyball. It's high expectations in the state for a reason. They back it up.
Let's throw one.
They back it up.
One
like
odd situation in there. Louisville's got incredible players. Is anyone coming with?
Well, you wonder. I don't know. You wonder.
You wonder because that. Now, do you leave Louisville? Just like I'm leaving Louisville. Nebraska's a way better deal. They were in the finals.
Yeah.
And so most likely, I imagine they will try to hold that team together. Before you didn't think that. That wasn't part of that wasn't how things were 5 years ago.
No.
But what happened? We see some teams that when coaches leave, somebody comes with them. Right. Do they have? I'm sure they have
their spots.
I'm sure they have an All-American. That is it, and then there's always that. Okay, if you bring an All-American over, what's that do to the chemistry of your current team that's here? There's a lot to it.
The one thing I don't know, I understand. No, I get it. The question I'd have automatically, Bill, do they have spots? Would you have
absolutely?
Would you have to get rid of somebody?
Yeah.
I mean,
chemistry means a lot. All of a sudden, someone comes. So it's different now. It's the first thing you ask when. How many times have we said, "Hey, when you're bringing a new coach in college football, can you Signetti it? Can you bring 12 starters with you to flip this team over to be able to help?"
Probably don't need to flip this one.
No, you don't. That's what I'm saying. You don't need to flip this one.
Right?
No, not at all.
There might be somebody though. There might be somebody that can help you.
Yeah.
We'll see on that. I don't know. I'm not smart, and we're not. None of us are smart enough to assess that. Probably. I mean. We're not.
You are, Steve.
No, I'm not. I didn't watch it.
Just make sure we get the official timeline written down. I want to make sure that is crystal clear.
Sierra at 4:37.
Steve wanted to fight us over 4 minutes.
Maybe you got the buzz before the official post. It could have been.
You have a
you might get the pre-buzz.
You get
on
a
your
pre.
phone.
Yeah, you have a different system.
I might have just.
Me and Jake are getting things as the rest of America is getting them.
I got texted from somebody. I had no idea. I was not on Twitter. I said, "What happened? John Cook retired? What?"
I'm just very, as you guys know, I'm very time oriented, and I remember seeing my truck clock at 4:37, but maybe the text came shortly.
Or maybe your clock is behind time.
No, it's.
I don't think this really caught people off guard. I really don't. I think it's kind of like
off guard.
It's more like going, "Oh, we knew this was going to be," but I don't think it really. It would be a lot. It'd be a lot different if it was Matt Rule retired. That'd be one of those you go, whoa.
No, and it's kind of typical John in that he handled it incredibly well. It happened kind of gracefully, like you'd expect with John. He didn't. I don't know. It's just it all worked out very well. There's a very nice presentation on social media. Now there's a press conference. He'll address whatever it is that was on his, why he did it.
Here's where it gets very difficult in this profession. Because I've been part of this and several times. Right away, there was an announcement that assistant coaches were staying. That means people at Louisville are getting left behind. And whoever gets, do they promote from within? Is that those people still have jobs?
Yeah.
All those things. I've been part of that before, and all of a sudden it's like I've left when we went to from Utah State to Wisconsin, and all of a sudden the vans left. There were some guys standing there with no job. They didn't make the cut to go to Wisconsin, and then the next person in wasn't going to retain them.
Right.
And so it's a tough life for that assistant coach. Also, you read about all of a sudden if you're at Louisville, you're sitting there going like, "Oh, Coach Cook hang on.
Yeah.
Am I going to Nebraska?
Yeah.
Or am I staying here? Or do I have a job?" That's what went through the minds of the Louisville. Same thing at Nebraska.
Yeah.
I would imagine that was something that was discussed with Coach Cook. Like, I have to protect my staff, and because if he just leaves in Coach Busman, which I would want to be like, that's fine, but I'm bringing my staff with me. So all of a sudden, when someone retires, that staff's sitting there going like, whoa.
It can be a hold up too. I mean, it can hold up something.
Does that
happening.
Also bring up any sort of like pre-knowledge of what was going on with Jordan Larson?
That's the question. That's what I could see. Jake's
was she not
working.
going to be retained by this the new staff? Possibly.
I don't know. It's just like
that's what goes through your head of this one.
For sure. Yeah.
But I'm telling you, as the assistant coaches, there's a lot of things going through your head. And guess what? The assistant coach at Nebraska, it's different. They're not bringing in. Coach Busboom Kelly will do it her way.
Her way.
And so it'll be so from being part of that, when I was retained at Utah, when Urban Meyer came in, and he kept 2 people, Kyle Whittingham and myself.
Whoa.
And you know what you do right away? You get on board.
Yep.
You get on board with how okay, here's how we do things different. Sounds great, coach. You
Can't wait.
Can't wait.
Let's
Sounds
do it.
awesome. Sounds great.
So what will John do now? He has a home in Alta, Wyoming. I don't know if you guys know Alta, Wyoming.
Never been.
Just east of the Idaho state line. Oh, you've never been there because it only has 420 people. So he has a place there. He does that team roping thing that I'm vaguely familiar with, where you rope a steer sitting on a horse, right?
Yeah. How cool is that?
Yeah, John's what John does.
He does.
High level. I mean, he tries to do it at a high level.
Did you sit by him at the rodeo, Bill?
Yeah.
At the UNO.
He sat by him at the rodeo.
The UNO rodeo. It was awesome.
Yeah, it's
great picture.
Great
picture.
So that's I don't know. He'll talk about what he's going to do now, but he won't be idle.
He'll be very busy. And that is a big passion for him. The rodeo, the roping, all those. So which is great.
Team roping.
Well, here's one thought about what people are bummed is that if this is someone who elevated the game of volleyball across the platform, not just Nebraska, but across volleyball.
Absolutely.
Some people might have wanted a kind of a farewell tour for John Cook.
A farewell
as
tour,
a
yes.
Thank you. If you're at any Big Ten school or anybody you play, hey, a thank you for elevating the sport of volleyball. You and your program have done that, and say, this is my final year. I'm retiring at the end of the year. That's maybe what people are wishing this could have gone down, although they're probably okay with how it did go down.
You make a great point, Jake.
Tour.
I love these. I'm not big.
I'm the same with you. I do
Coach
not
K
like
had
those.
A farewell tour.
I know.
And they bring out the rocking chair from the other. They do. The other team brings a gift for you every time.
Damn game.
And
that
just
would
saying,
just be,
some people would like to have that. I get why you don't want.
No, Jake, I'm not casting aspersions on anybody, even Coach K or anybody who has those farewell tours. I think Bill's like me. We'd just be the types. I'd say, I don't know. I'm not doing a farewell.
Right off into the sunset.
Yeah, you'd like boom. I think that's what'll happen probably with me and Sip.
Yeah, we'll have a farewell.
Whenever we're done at the ticket, just one day it's like, is Sipple coming in? I haven't seen him. It's 7:01. I'm done.
Oh no, I left.
We'll get a text message. Get a text message.
I'm done.
But that's John. I mean, I think that's John's personality. I don't think his personality would invite all that attention over the period of a season.
And you want to talk about things not being seamless in the next coach? Well, right away then, you can't name at that time farewell tour. Oh, Danny Busman Kelly will be the next coach. She's going to coach at Louisville this year, though. Then she's come. No. This was was seamless of how to take care of your program, to do it the right way for your program. This is the way to do it.
God, that's a good point. And a farewell tour might screw things up.
Yeah, it's not perfect, but for those who
I get it,
want
Jake.
to give them a thank you, that's the only. And some people have said in the text line. So
I'm going to be very frank about this. I hate farewell tours. I don't like the look at me. I'm retiring.
And maybe John Cook hates him as well. So he said, no, I'm not doing that. No
look
way.
at me, everybody. I'm retiring.
Now, I will say this on the farewell tour, when the last game for Krzyzewski ended and they played North Carolina and they lost, it was epic because he yelled at the crowd. And he was so upset. He was so mad that they lost the game that it was just a completely awkward situation. He just got so mad, and his family's all standing there, and he's just
stop, Mike. Stop. Come on, Mike.
It was close to him being like, "I'll be back next year. I can't
go out like this.
Can't go out like this.
Shameful."
Well, John will be around. I bet he'll be around a lot. He goes to Mazatlan a lot.
Yeah. You've seen him there. Talked to him there before.
Oh, he loves he loves Mexican food. So hopefully he'll be around town.
John Cook, 25 years, again, 4 championships, 722 and 103. The record. His press conference at 10 a.m. today. Sip will be there.
I'm pretty sure I'll be there. Yeah.
Likely will be there.
No, I'll be there.
Well, before I get to break, one guy deserves breakfast this morning is John Cook for retiring.
You know what? Where would John like to go?
If I was giving him an option, I'd say, hey, man, go to early.
If you were going to meet him right now, if he texted you and said, Jake, let's do breakfast, where would you want to go?
Coach, let's go to the Bird. Let's go to the Bird. Early Bird.
Why would you want to go there?
Why would you go there?
They have so many options.
Where would John park?
Oh, he'd probably park right up front if he could. But he's a humble guy. He might park in the back and just
like
walk.
Bill. Yeah. Bill parked way in the back.
I did. I parked in the back.
He could have a breakfast burrito. He could have a chicken fried steak, which is what, Bill?
Smothered.
He could have a blueberry pancake, banana pancake, strawberry, potentially huckleberry, a cinnamon roll pancake.
Raspberry.
Ooh, raspberry always sounds good.
And if he wants to spice up, he could have a world famous hash hole.
Bill's back in the studio. Sounded very good.
No,
Good job.
no delay today on that one. 19th and K.
Actually, there was no delay yesterday. I just said it late. I just stalled on purpose.
I didn't think there was was he delayed?
No, he was
little
no
bit.
delay. Yeah.
What are we doing next, Jake?
When we come back, we're going to do an early version of Bill's Thrills.
The Thrills.
Next on Early Break on the Ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Busch. Sponsored by Sandhills Global on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I'm proud of my Nebraska roots, and I'm proud to be back home. And at Midwest Bank, they're proud to be your local community bank. They believe in family first, taking initiative, showing integrity, and rolling up their sleeves to support their local communities. They treat everyone like family, no matter where you're from. Whether you walk into a branch in York, Lincoln, Norfolk, or Pierce, you know you're going to be welcomed with a smile. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
M Suits Clothiers, Lincoln's favorite men's store. Family owned and operated, located 1 block south of 56th and Pine Lake Road. The end of season clearance is going on now with up to 50% off. Stop in now for best selection on sweaters, outerwear, suits, sport coat, dress pants, and dress shirts. M Suits Clothiers, your menswear store.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Let's talk commitment. And what better way to do that than with some shiny, sparkly jewelry? Am I right? Now, I'm not suggesting you have to rush, but if you're considering making a significant move, do your planning. We offer financing and payment plans. Lock down your selection with confidence. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Sports Show!
The 56th Annual Boat Sport and Travel Show is bigger and better than ever. January 31st to February 2nd at the Sandhills Global Event Center in Lincoln. Don't miss it.
Sports Show!
At Planet Fitness, we're declaring it. This is the year of getting stronger. And future stronger you can get started now by saving $28 or more when you join today. You in? We have all the best in-class equipment you could ever need to keep stepping it up. And you can work out your way on your time at any convenient location near you. Most open 24 hours. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends January 31st. See Home Club for details.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see a chance of showers throughout the day. Otherwise, cloudy skies and an afternoon high near 50. Tonight, the chance of showers continues over that low around 32. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies return with a light breeze and an afternoon high near 51. I'm meteorologist Kyle Becker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Landmark Implement, your John Deere dealer, invites you to their annual sprayer clinic at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney on February 5th and 6th. This hands-on event offers expert training on John Deere and Hagie sprayers, covering topics such as machine maintenance, spray tip selection, and exact apply technology. New this year, classes on autonomy preparation, see and spray, and variable rate operation. Don't miss this opportunity, February 5th and 6th in Kearney. Learn more at landmarkimp.com/events.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We will do an early version of Bill's Thrills in a second. Before that, though, segment 2 is sponsored by our friends at Beck's Hybrids. Farmers, we know that volume discounts are a major factor when ordering seed, and oftentimes discounts are lost buying from multiple brands, but Beck's has the most diverse lineup in the marketplace. Go to beckshybrids.com for a full farm quote. And always remember the 3 F's, faith, family, and farming. Today, we're highlighting Kylan McGinnis from McGinnis Seed in Nebraska City. Call him at 402-209-2761.
I said, counting the fields, I said, I fellows in the mid-70s, and I'm sure I missed some, but the Beck's logo was everywhere.
It's a lot of tallies to make.
Yeah,
though.
it was. I'm just kind of in my head. I'm like, okay, I'm kind of counting in my head, so I could be off a few, but it was everywhere, and that was some incredible farmland that I drove through. When you drive from here to St. Louis, you're in incredible farm country all the way through it.
So you'd see, I got to look for these. There's signs that stick out of the ground.
You
Out of
can't
the
miss
ground,
it,
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
If you look for them, you can't miss them.
Jake has low tolerance.
The signs that stick out of the ground. There's no hovering signs that I was aware of.
No,
I didn't see that.
Jake, you can't miss them.
Well, if you're looking at a field,
Jake's been stern with this all day.
Truly, I have not.
He loses his patience.
He does. He's very. Both of us were.
You can't miss them.
If you're looking for the Beck signs, you won't miss them. They're up right by the field.
You can't miss them, old man.
Open your eyes. Well, you don't drive. Open your eyes, man.
Are you not looking for seed cord
What are you
signs?
looking for when you're driving? Come on.
Yeah, what are you doing when you're driving? I'm
Jeez.
totally baffled by this.
Unbelievable.
The thrills.
It's time for a Thursday edition of Bill's Thrills. Here we go.
Some call him the most interesting man in the world.
That is setting up the morel mushroom
Yes.
bonanza.
Oh,
yeah.
this is gonna be bonanza, right?
Mushrooms grow better with thunder and lightning.
Others call him Coach. But to everyone else, he's Bill.
I want to get one of those military ab stimulators for us to wear during the show. You see, I sent it to you today.
It's time for Bill's Thrills on Early Break. Sponsored by Dirk, Scott, and Ty at Mid-Plains Advisors.
Yes, as always, Bill's Thrills sponsored by Dirk, Scott, and Ty at Mid-Plains Advisors, the ATMs, the cash cows of Lincoln. Call them at 402-730-7387 for a free consultation to plan your financial future today. Bill, is it a Cool Parenting Tips Thursday or not?
It is Cool Parenting
Okay.
Tips. And
Thursday.
this is something that I still stay enamored with, and I am with a lot of people that say, I don't care anymore. I don't want to hear about it, but I'm still enamored with what went down at Michigan with Connor Stallions.
Oh, me too.
I'm still
I am
enamored
too.
with it. And there was been so much more information that is things that have come out.
Oh my God, yes.
Say it, don't delay it. Say it, don't delay it. Just teach your kids, if you're in the middle of something, you're in a pickle, just get it over with. Just say it. This is what happened.
interesting.
This is what's going on. Just remember, McElwain went with we're on it. We're having our people. We're on it. We're going to see if he was here. His name was not on any passes. We're unaware. They worked together. Mm-hmm. We're unaware of what might have happened in any of these situations like that. Then the text messages come out. They come out. Jake Costner, the guy that got fired at the beginning of the season this year, like that
At Central Michigan,
all of a sudden was just fired. His name was scrubbed from everything. Then the text messages come out from Connor Stallions.
what'd they say?
It's that he would be coming to meet with Sharon Moore in the office at Michigan to go over signals. And so somehow,
damning.
What was all to talk signals that's not that big of a deal. But my point is, when you're in the middle of it, there's still been nothing said from Central Michigan. They still haven't they've not said a word. Everybody else has said, yeah, it's him. It's been clarified. He was there. He was on the sidelines. Central Michigan, nope, not saying a thing. not saying
So
a
they
word.
still haven't said anything.
And then randomly, then also the head coach said, "You know what? I think I'm gonna retire. I'm good. I'm gonna shut it down."
He shut it down.
He shut it down.
He's not that old.
No, I could see him shutting it down. He's been a head coach at where he's been. Was it Colorado State, and I believe head coach at Florida.
Yeah.
And then so he's been around for a while.
62 years old,
Yeah.
Jim McElroy.
Okay, so that makes sense a little bit.
But just when you have the chance, just saying, "Hey, here's what happened. This is what's going on," and just get it out.
We've all been in those.
We've all been in those
situations.
spots. Like, hey, what are you going to do?
Delaying the inevitable.
Well, what's the best thing you can do? How about this one? Just say, I made a mistake. This is what happened. You probably save yourself a job. You really probably do that. Just say, yeah, I let him on the sidelines, or I had whatever knowledge was going on, whatever it was. But that thing went when that made that turn, and everyone knew. They have photos of him on the sideline. It's him, and then there's nothing. And there's nothing said. There's not. But these text messages. But also, one of the most interesting things was that came out yesterday or the day before, whatever day it was that the main tip of where this came from was from inside the house.
On campus tipster, not Ohio State.
They kept saying it was
not
Ryan
Day.
No,
Nope.
They did reveal that, oh, no, it came from within.
Yeah, Ross Dellinger. You're reading
Yeah,
Ross Dellinger.
exactly.
He's doing a great job.
Doing a great job with it. And so it was incredible
In-house
just to know.
tipster.
In-house, someone said that this is what's going on.
And I'll tell you this, Bill and Jake, if you don't mind me interjecting.
No,
Bill,
interject, Steve.
if you read Ross Dellinger, who's incredible, if you read his report, you start thinking, well, Michigan makes a pretty good case here that this is overdone, that this is sensationalized largely, that, what we did wasn't maybe perfect, but it wasn't as bad as it's being portrayed. Michigan, the other side of this is pretty strong. And then, so what a lot of people are in this situation of now they have to trust the NCAA to get this right. Not a high degree of trust with the NCAA to get anything right.
Well, with all the things that go on through the NCAA, there's all this antitrust and the things where all of a sudden it's like, nope, get your extra year. No, do this. And it's going to go to the court of law. They do still have power in levying law. And
NCAA?
The NCAA does, because you're a member. You joined the NCAA. You're a member of that. They still hold power in that area to be like, hey, you're going to be on probation. This is what's going to happen. Whatever it is, they hold that power.
They do.
And so that can still happen. And it's going to be very interesting.
There's a long bruising fight ahead between the NCAA and Michigan.
Did you see what Bielema did?
What did he do?
I did see.
I
was surprised it wasn't under rundown. I was surprised.
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Bielema was firing shots at Harbaugh.
He fired shots at
Hard
Harbaugh.
shots.
Yes.
Making fun of him. Putting up clips of Harbaugh saying you shouldn't cheat, in a past life. He was, stuff like that. Putting up clips on Twitter.
Yeah.
I don't know, though. I read Dellinger's report, and my thought was, this doesn't sound as bad as it's being portrayed by some people.
If all they were talking about is signs and what they picked up from looking at the across the field, or what you got off a TV copy, it all dates back to that he had people flying to other games to videotape, and was that other. That's where it gets. And there's still that. How did this guy who was a vacuum cleaner repairman finance all this?
Okay, now that's where.
So
now people are wondering: did the coach? This is where this question comes into play. Did the coaches know? How much did they know? It seems like the coaches maybe knew, or I don't know. There's some doubt about it, or they didn't. They're. How much did they get from counterstones? I don't know. It's hard to say.
Well,
it's hard to say.
Another show has brought it up, which is very. When you go to games where he was involved, he's standing right next to the coordinators. That doesn't happen if you're just or he also had 55 text messages to the offensive coordinator.
52 to Sharon.
Yeah. That's not, just so you know, that's not normal. I'm just going to tell you right now. If you go to Georgia, that there's a random analyst that's texting, Bobo. 55 times.
And Sharon Moore deleted him the day the news broke.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, Dellinger's.
What are you talking about? No idea what you're talking about. Says Sharon Moore.
That's Sharon Moore.
Sharon Moore said he deleted him because he was so upset of what someone would do to the program.
Yes.
But then when you read the text, that's not what it is. It's not. It's just interesting to me.
Jake, you should do yourself a favor and read Dellinger's report.
I'll do that.
Now it's a long story. Like you have
I'll
to take
commit time to read it.
Yeah, you have to take a half hour. And I'm gonna tell you something, guys. This country. This is a shout out to Ross Dellinger. There's not enough Ross Dellingers out there right now.
He's really good at his job.
He is. We've had him on the radio several times.
He's excellent.
Your friend is Ross, and there's not a lot of guys out there just doing reporting. Just reporting. He's not, he doesn't do opinion. He doesn't do hit pieces. He doesn't. His job is to be a reporter, and there's not enough of that in this world anymore.
No, he does. That's why he's so interesting. I would call him to find out what was going on in coaching world. He would be the guy to say, hey, what's going on with this unlimited coach? He'd be like, well, I'm here at the convention right now. They're meeting on this or doing. Like you said, he just reported me the facts. He didn't give me some sort of well, I'm kind of thinking, and this is what I think should happen. No, he just told me what actually was happening. Then he'd say, then it goes to this committee, and then and he just nails it. He has it all. He's an old school reporter.
You got it.
Just the facts.
Yeah, and there's not enough of them because of people have cut back. The style of the way news is presented has changed. He gets to the bottom of things. There's not enough people like Ross Dellinger out there anymore that get to the bottom of things. It's just
investigative. Is that what it'd be? Investigative reporting.
Yeah, if you read I was reading this Michigan situation yesterday, as a matter of fact, and I was thinking, how many guys could even do this, what Ross is doing? He's really good at it. If anybody's getting to the bottom of the Michigan thing, it's probably Ross or maybe somebody, one of the Detroit newspapers, but you just don't see it. I don't do it. I don't get to the bottom of stuff anymore. It's not really my job anymore. It used to be, but now it's just quick commentary and being on the radio.
And he's known as random comments on the radio. But he is known as that person that I think he's got a lot of trust built up when someone talks.
No doubt.
Like he has a lot of trust built up in him.
Yeah. Bill, the headline again, please.
Hang on. I got to go to my glasses.
I got to write it again.
Yes. Say it. Don't delay it. It's real simple. If you're in the middle of something, just get it out there. And to be honest with you, there's a really good chance that maybe this Jake Costner did say it. He may have said, hey, here's exactly what's going on with this deal. The only reason that he got boom was that his name was in those text messages. His name was there no one else's name was in the text messages with what was going on. That's where it came. And he may have said it. He may have went to the administration, to the AD, because do you think there's a conversation between him and the AD? Absolutely, there was a conversation.
Oh, yeah,
absolutely.
Probably not comfortable.
Rick Heyman's Song of the Day is next, an early break in the ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Busch. Sponsored by Sandhills Global on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The Jerky Bowl has kicked off at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska. From now until halftime of the big game, every online order gets you entered into their incredible giveaway. The grand prize is a 30-bag jerky sample pack, $225 value, while second place is a 15-bag sample pack, while third place is a Be Mine jerky box, perfect for Valentine's Day. Order now at smokinggunjerky.com, and if you enter promo code EARLY, you'll not only get 10% off your order, but also be entered twice for the drawing. It's the Jerky Bowl at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
It's hard to choose a favorite at Hog Wild, but I'd have to say it's their award-winning ribs. Hog Wild buys their meat from those who share their high-quality standards, then hand rubs each slab with their famous seasoning blend and slow smokes them over hickory each and every day for flavor and tenderness you're gonna keep coming back for. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Landmark Implement, your John Deere dealer, invites you to their annual sprayer clinic at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney on February 5th and 6th. This hands-on event offers expert training on John Deere and Hagie sprayers, covering topics such as machine maintenance, spray tip selection, and exact apply technology. New this year, classes on autonomy preparation, see and spray, and variable rate operation. Don't miss this opportunity, February 5th and 6th in Kearney. Learn more at landmarkimp.com/events.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Hey farmers, Boyd Farm Outfitters is hosting a product expo at their facility near Exeter on Tuesday, February 11th. They'll introduce the newest products from precision planting and demo the Quick Draw Spray Tender System. They'll give you an up-close look at the Green Eye Select spraying system, reveal the future of soybean traits, and much more. Stay up to date with the newest technologies in agriculture and learn how your farm can save time and money to become more efficient. Visit BoydFarmOutfitters.com for more information, and they'll see you on the 11th.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at doorsplusllc.com or give them a call at 402-590-5800. Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solutions offers fleet services, as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2024 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
At Planet Fitness, we're declaring it. This is the year of getting stronger. And future stronger you can get started now by saving $28 or more when you join today. You in? We have all the best in-class equipment you could ever need to keep stepping it up. And you can work out your way on your time at any convenient location near you. Most open 24 hours. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends January 31st. See Home Club for details.
You're working out, eating right, living a healthy lifestyle, but your energy sucks. This could be a sign of low testosterone. Where do you turn for help? The answer is Limitless Male, the #1 testosterone clinic for men in the Midwest. Start by scheduling your free consult at one of our 13 clinics. If low T is the diagnosis, a custom treatment plan will get your energy back on track. What are you waiting for? Schedule your free consult at limitlessmale.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Move over, Jake.
I'm moving. Jeez.
Thursdays are reserved for a man with a wider range of music knowledge than Jake could ever dream of.
This is the golden era. You would hear this on any radio station. You know, it wasn't like it is now. You know, you got country, you got R&B, you got pop, you got rap, you got rock. They didn't have that then. You heard everything.
A man who knows a good song when he hears it, just as much as a good diamond when he sees it.
You get a diamond!
Yes, I do get a diamond. I get a diamond, and that makes me happy.
It's time for Rick Heyman's Song of the Day, sponsored by Sartor Heyman Jewelers, on Early Break on 93.7 The Ticket.
Once again, your song of the day from 1977, Thunder Island by Jay Ferguson. 464-568-51 is bad. 10 is good. Texture rating and Rick Heyman, Sauter Heyman Jewelers, song of the day.
77, Bill. 1977.
Better times. Oh, I've heard that song thousands of times.
And every time it sounds good.
It's great.
Crank it up.
It is. That is. You never would ever turn that. Oh, it is songs that take you back in time. You remember everything about that 77.
He got it on Thunder Island.
Yeah.
That's cool. And he wrote about it.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. It's a beautiful song. And then he has his background singer saying, "Da-da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da." Just do that, guys. Just do da-da-da, da-da-da.
Hey, write it down here. Hey, what do you guys do right here? And
it's going to sound good.
It's going to sound great. You're going to love it.
Just trust me on this one.
Trust me with this one.
I got this.
Can you see the band going like, "We got you, Jay"?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Rock on, man.
How about the name? I love the name. Just Jay Ferguson. Didn't change his name. Didn't go with some sort of new name. Just like, we go with Jay Ferguson.
Jay Ferguson, like Jay Kaiser.
Yeah.
Right?
Who helped me well.
Kaiser, yeah.
Yes. Kaiser. Hey, Jake, was that your dad liked that song, right?
Oh, yeah. Big fan. So am I.
Yeah, man.
I'm a big fan of that song.
Oh, Jake, you've played it before.
Years ago.
Years
It's
ago.
been years, so it's fair.
All right, let's bring in Rick. I'm going to give it a 9. I mean, come on. It's got to be in the 9s. 9.114.
90001.
Okay.
I'm going higher. Go 9.6.
9.6.
I love.
I'm
I love Thunder Island.
I'm going to say Emily is a 6.2.
Emily over there.
Ellie, what are you doing?
She's never scored. 5.7. She didn't have a score written down.
Didn't even.
That's okay.
Remember, we're on air. Ellie.
She did. Yeah.
Well,
5.7.
High score, so 9+ for all three of us in here.
Yes.
And we're now joined by Rick Heyman. Rick, good morning. Hey, pretty good scores today for Thunder Island by Jay Ferguson.
Boy, I guess that's fantastic. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you for that song.
Ellie?
You nailed it.
Wow. Well, a lot of news around here. We're sorry to see the coach go, Coach Cook.
Yeah.
And scared me for a second.
Yeah,
missing something
coach.
here.
Not our coach, but that coach. Hey, he's going down to Mexico. He's hanging out on Thunder Island, right?
Is that where it is? Mexico?
Well, I don't know. It's any island, I guess. But,
Sure.
It's Jimmy Buffett land, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
I hear this song. I'm at the Southern Command. I hear this song playing all the time down here because we have music that's pumped through the whole community. And it's fun.
Florida.
I love this song. It's fun. I can remember where I was the first time I ever heard this song. I remember it like it was today. I was out. We had a barn and a acreage out on 70th and Pioneer, which was in the middle of the country back then. We boarded horses. And when this song came out, I thought, God, I love that song. This is awesome. I was 19, which was kind of my kind of Renaissance age. I've been through high school and had some bad experiences and got invited to join this band and it was just a blast. We had so much fun, and this was indicative of that era, where the song was the deal. And like you guys say, the song doesn't necessarily mean who the band, but the song just kind of was part of the culture.
Yeah.
So it was great. Jay Ferguson was in Spirit, another band that is spectacular, and we will do some of theirs. Late 60s, early 70s. Spirit. Anybody go look them up with Randy California, which is the greatest name I've ever heard. They named the guy Randy California, but it's a great band. 1 million hits off of one record. I think they had 4 or 5 top 10 hits. This particular song did hit the top 10 for Jay. Between Spirit and this, he was in a band called JoJo Gunn. And a lot of the listeners will remember that hit, which was Run, Run, Run. And you can go look that one up, too. It's a great song. Anyway, he went out on his own.
Okay.
By 1982, he was done. So he retired. He became a composer for movies and TV shows. As a matter of fact, he wrote the song for the TV show The Office. So the intro song for The Office was written by and performed by Jay Ferguson, which
didn't know that.
Back then, sitcoms, the song for the intro of the sitcom was pretty important. You can remember a lot of these songs.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
And it was a big deal. And so anyway, and he went on to write for he did the Terminator. He was the composer of that soundtrack. He's still doing this. And in fact, today he is the soundtrack composer for NCIS, the TV show on CBS. So
Jay Ferguson.
Jay Ferguson, very talented. He could play any instrument. Started out as a classical pianist. He learned how to play the banjo, and then he ended up learning every single instrument, including the drums. But he was also a terrific lead singer, and that was him singing with himself those background vocals, the da-da-da part.
You're kidding me.
No.
He can play the banjo.
Himself.
That probably what excites me the most.
Anything with a banjo, a steel guitar, or a mandolin, I'm in. I am in.
Jay Ferguson.
He's a dude.
Yeah. You taught us something today. The Office intro song was written by and composed by.
We're better people leaving this show today.
Yeah, we are.
What Rick did.
We've learned.
You are. Okay. Stump the Sippers and Coach. By the way, sad to see Coach Cook leave, but by golly, what a legacy. He loves his horses, he loves Montana, and he loves Mexico. How can you blame him? I mean, what an incredible run he had. And he's a California kid, he wants to go where it's warm. So
Chula Vista.
I don't blame him.
San Diego.
Yeah, Chula Vista.
Yeah.
That's San Diego.
You guys are getting a little bit of this right now in Nebraska. You're getting a little Thunder Island going on.
Feels warm, 58 degrees.
Nice weather. And by the way, congratulations on adding the third hour. Jake, does this mean that you'll play more than 60 seconds of my song in the future?
He always cuts them short.
I cannot guarantee that, Rick. We'll see what we can do. There's
okay.
Rules here. Go ahead.
I would appreciate that. All right.
Rules.
For Sipple.
1977.
What a year. You guys were, what were you, 10 or 11?
Yeah. God, you're smart. Yes, 11.
So you were running around in short pants on your Huffy bike. Who was the president in 1977 of the United States of America?
Oh, don't do this to me. 77.
Been in the news a lot lately.
Oh, you gave me a hint. Jimmy Carter.
Diamond.
Beat Rick the dime. Sorry, Rick. I beat you to the punch there. My bad.
Yeah.
I got excited.
Jake.
I got excited.
Little jumping on the button there. Okay.
Yeah, whoops. My bad.
This is for Bill.
Yep.
This is another president question.
Okay, this is for Bill. What man-made marvel had already been created but was signed between President Carter and a Central American country to give control to that country by the year 2000? This has been in the news a lot lately, too. Man-made marvel that we built in Central America, Jimmy Carter in 1977 signed over to that country to be fully theirs by the year 2000.
Do you know this, Jake?
I have a guess, but I got a guess.
I don't know, Bill.
Spain.
No.
Can I help? I'm going to go Panama Canal, Rick. Is that it?
You get a diamond.
That's for Bill. Give Bill his diamond.
I've had some bad guesses in my life. That was as bad as I've ever done.
I still don't even know the question.
Man-made.
1977.
Yeah.
And this is a really tough one. You will not get it, but you might get lucky.
Try.
1977. What media mogul at the time, this is a little bit before he became a huge mogul, skippered his yacht Courageous to win the 24th America's Cup?
Oh,
that's
Ted
for
Turner.
Anybody.
Ted Turner. Bam.
Diamond.
Oh, Sip.
Brilliant.
Whoa. Look at Sip.
Ted Turner, CNN. Yeah.
That was well done.
Thank you.
That's from downtown.
Yeah, that was from downtown.
3 for 3 today.
Yeah.
Rick, what's happening right now at Sauter Heyman Jewelers?
Gentlemen, it's almost February 1st. You know what February 14th is? February 14th is Valentine's Day. Now, don't screw around on this deal. Don't run over to Hy-Vee on your way home from work and get $80, probably now with inflation, $100 dozen roses and a card that costs $8. You've already spent all that money. Come to Sartor Heyman. We're going to give you a free dozen roses if you spend $99 or more. Get her what she really wants, which is the jewelry, and the flowers are just the icing on the cake. Then you take her out later. You're going to get so much goodwill out of this, I can't even begin to tell you. Valentine's Day. Now, if you come in early and make your purchase, that's okay. We'll hold the flowers. Don't worry. You can stop by that day or the day before and pick them up. We've got it all set up. They're beautiful. It's going to cost you $100 anyway, so you might as well get some jewelry. Don't forget the outlet on 12th and O, 1 block away from the fabulous studio. I can't wait for the 3-hour three-legged stool starting next week. And we're at SartorHeyman.com, all over social media. I'll put more interesting things about Jay Ferguson, all of his other bands on my personal Facebook at Rick Heyman, Spirit, and JoJo Gunn.
Rick, always good stuff. Thanks for the time. We'll chat with you again next week.
Bye-bye.
That's Rick Heyman's Song of the Day, Jay Ferguson, Thunder Island from 1977. When we come back, hour 2, Mike Schaefer in the building for the full hour next on Early Break in the Ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Busch. Sponsored by Sandhills Global on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread's Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread's Central Tire Pros because we tread differently. Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solutions offers fleet services, as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2024 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Wall-to-Wall Wine & Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall-to-Wall Wine & Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I'm proud of my Nebraska roots, and I'm proud to be back home. And at Midwest Bank, they're proud to be your local community bank. They believe in family first, taking initiative, showing integrity, and rolling up their sleeves to support their local communities. They treat everyone like family, no matter where you're from. Whether you walk into a branch in York, Lincoln, Norfolk, or Pierce, you know you're going to be welcomed with a smile. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
A new year means it's time to try new things. If you haven't tried Fear's cheese spread yet, the time is now. For the days you don't want to go to the gym, don't worry. Fear's cheese spread is there to cheer you up. And for the days you do get to the gym, why not celebrate when you get back with the best dip around? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Fear's cheese spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
Hey farmers, Boyd Farm Outfitters is hosting a product expo at their facility near Exeter on Tuesday, February 11th. They'll introduce the newest products from precision planting and demo the quick draw spray tender system. They'll give you an up-close look at the Green Eye Select spraying system, reveal the future of soybean traits, and much more. Stay up to date with the newest technologies in agriculture and learn how your farm can save time and money to become more efficient. Visit BoydFarmOutfitters.com for more information, and they'll see you on the 11th.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays. Games of bowling, shoe rental, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
Wake up, Lincoln.
I overslept. Damn rooster didn't crow.
It's time for Early Break, sponsored by Midwest Bank. Live from Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
I'm wrong, but I'm not.
Husker Online, Steve Sipple.
If I were a feral cat.
And longtime college football assistant coach, Bill Busch.
You get one team. Mine's the Houston Oilers. I'm not the Texans, and I'm not the Titans, so I'm out.
This is Early Break.
Welcome back to Hour 2 on a Thursday. Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen with you. Bill Busch had to depart to go to a speech in Wayne, but we do have Mike Schaefer with us for the 7 o'clock hour. This hour is sponsored by our friends at Midwest Bank. Member FDIC, location in South Lincoln at 27th and Jamie Lane, also at 70th and Pioneers. I'm sure we'll hear tomorrow from Bill what Shin Daddy has going on in Creighton, but today, day off again. Bill had to depart, so it's okay. Schaefer, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm much better than I was last Thursday morning.
Do you want to go in detail what happened there at all? Or
we don't have to go into a lot of detail, but I do want to at least mention this. So the guy I have basketball tickets with, so Nebraska played on Wednesday night, lost to USC, I believe.
Yes.
USC. Lost to USC. And the guy I have basketball tickets with works with plumbers throughout Lincoln. And so he didn't know until like later on Thursday that I had completely missed the show because plumbers were reaching out asking if we had tied one on after the Nebraska basketball game because I hadn't made my Thursday appearance when instead I had spent basically from 3 a.m. until 6:45 in ER here at Bryan Hospital. Oh, that's pleasant. Just experiencing my first ever kidney stone, which, as I described to Sipple this morning, was like someone stabbing me repeatedly with a knife from roughly 2 a.m. until just about after 5:15 when I think the muscle relaxers kicked in a little bit. And then I kind of was so exhausted and nobody had come into the room for a while. I fell asleep and I don't know. I think they just let me sleep. And then someone roused me at 6:15 and we started the whole process of kicking me out of there. So
that's just wonderful. I mean, you got him at 3. You got about at 3 a.m.
2 a.m.
2 a.m.
and wandered around
my wife wasn't sure, and then it was like, do we need to load up Hudson? And everyone goes to the ER, and I'm like, no, we're not doing that. So I drove myself halfway.
You drove yourself?
Yeah, halfway on the drive, I pull into a parking lot, get out of my car, yak everywhere, get back into my car, drive to ER. You stumble up there, you're in obvious pain. I have to ask for a barf bag. I'm throwing up, and then they ask what my insurance is, and then we're able to move into.
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
bless the people that work in ER. I could never. I've been there 3 times for various reasons, or actually 4, but this is the only time that it's ever been, for me, and specifically something had gone on. I can't imagine working in that environment.
A lot of people have dealt with kidney stones.
Oh yeah, I've heard
including yourself.
I've heard from a lot of people.
Yeah, I first got them. Yeah, I first got a kidney stone when I was like 21, and I didn't, like you, I didn't know what it was at the time. That's why it was more terrifying. Now, I got them 4 or 5 times subsequently, and I'd always be like, okay, it's just kidney stone. And
I thought it was my appendix, just based on it being on the right side and just the amount of pain, and then just not knowing. Because I always thought kidney stones would be, in the kidney, the lower back.
Well,
and
mine was the lower back. Yeah, mine was the lower back, but I had no idea what it was. And I remember, and I had to get my older brother, to drive me to the ER, and I remember in the passenger side yelling. I was yelling. I was, and he was alarmed.
There's a lot of yelling about Lincoln stoplights and how they're all red at 2 a.m. and specific streets where it's like, why would this ever be red at 2 a.m?
I was just impressed, Schaefer, that you had the wherewithal to shoot me a text at 3:20 a.m. saying, "Hey, I won't be at the show tomorrow. I'm in the ER." I'm like, "Oh God!" So I wake up, at 4:30. Say, "Oh no, Schaefer, what's going on?" You told me kidney stones, but he sent me a text.
I forgot. I had
3:20 in the morning.
Sent you about like what the actual diagnosis was, because I didn't want to leave you hanging, and then. And apparently never got sent, and then at like 7:20 at night, you're like, "Hey, is everything okay?"
What's this?
Like, oh yeah, no
concern. You're right.
So
3 or 2 a.m. Wow.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, that's a jarring wake up call for sure.
A jarring experience.
All
right. Well, I'm glad you're better.
Yes. By the way,
it was still, comparable to watching Nebraska basketball lose 6 games in a row. I mean, one of the at least the stone will pass. I'm not sure for Nebraska basketball.
Yes. By the way, the Mike Schaefer Hour, sponsored by Ben Spurk of Farm Bureau Nebraska Insurance. If you want to reach out for insurance needs or questions, please text or call Ben at 402-217-9945. Lots to get to today with you, Schaefer. Bill's out, so we will have no Bill's throws today. So we have a lot of, if you have questions for Schaefer, please text or call 464-5685. We have not discussed at all the spring game situation, which we were informed yesterday is
almost like a legendary coach must have retired yesterday.
Yes, it kind of got buried by the John Cook news. In fact, it did get buried by the John Cook news.
It's a reasonable thing to get buried by, I suppose.
Absolutely.
So there will not be a regular spring game. What is the update on this from yesterday? What's the official update on the spring game status?
Well, Troy Dannon addressed it last night. If you just give me,
I'll make sure you get the terminology correct.
Yeah, I'm going to give you. If you just give me a moment, I got it.
Okay.
Dannon was on the radio, guys. He was doing a statewide, deal every month.
Amazing timing for all of this.
Yeah, he did address John Cook at length. He laid all of that out, but he was also. Troy Dannon was also talking about the spring game, and he said the words, "I'm not going to call it a spring game." He's not going to call it a spring game. He says, because, quoting him, "I do not expect it to be a game. I don't know what it's going to be just yet," he said. Really, that's going to be Matt Rule's call. So not a game, guys. This is obviously a change, and Schaefer, we know why. I mean, the roster's sizes are being reduced. NIL is a factor in all of this. I guess in just very blunt terms, you're paying some guys a lot of money. You don't necessarily need them out there playing a game in the spring. Please elaborate.
Well, so I think there's a lot of facets to this. So you start with the condensing of the roster size, and then there's the real possibility that a couple positions Nebraska wouldn't have enough to split up across however many units you're going to have. If you're going to have 4 units, 1s versus 2s and 2s versus 1s, or however you want to do it, you may not have enough to be able to do that. And so because of that, you're putting people at risk if you're going to play them more or however you wanted to do it that way. There's also this idea. A lot of these are televised.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are in the business of having players that you don't want to see have unnecessary exposure right before the transfer portal window opens,
which is going to again, yes.
You don't want those guys out there in a televised situation. You know, imagine Jamal Turner returning the punt for a touchdown in 2010, and then all of a sudden he can just go into the portal after enrolling at Nebraska and end up at Texas A&M.
Yeah, why is the Miami coach on my phone here?
Yeah, so,
You know?
I mean, it's and I can see people, I can visually see people rolling their eyes, but this is the reality of where you're at with college football. It is unfortunate, but the spring game, which was already an incredibly stale product to begin with, needed change anyways, and so this is moving in that direction. Now, the thing that is difficult for Nebraska fans is that the spring game is actually an event here. At a lot of places, it is the 15th practice of the spring. Some people might show up to watch. Some people don't even have a scrimmage. Lovie Smith once took his team bowling to motivate them to get to a bowl that year. It actually worked.
Nice.
Maybe something Nebraska could have tried at some point in 7 years. But
Sun Valley Lanes.
Yeah. Could you imagine how packed that would be if Nebraska had a bowling event there for their football team? People would pack in for that.
Be fun.
I think that they have an opportunity to still do some sort of event that involves the fans. I don't know if it's going to be 7-on-7. I don't know if it'll be a skills competition. I just don't think it's ever going to look like what it used to. It's no longer 1995. You're not going to split up your red and your white and then, you know, watch it like it's an actual football game. It really hasn't been that for years. We've had years in there where they've done different things where the defense scores and, you know, it's just not, it's not what it used to be. And I think we have to accept and embrace that and move forward.
I'm accepting and embracing it. And this is not just a Nebraska discussion.
No, this is everywhere. I mean, it's a discussion in Nebraska because the spring game matters at a larger level here. And it really does matter. As cynical as I am about many, many, many things, and I am not a supporter of the spring game because it's to me, it's been blown out of proportion as to the value of what it actually is. But one thing that it does do, and this is why I think they have to come up with something, is that it's an opportunity for people who otherwise generally can't get into the stadium to go to a game-like atmosphere, to be in Memorial Stadium. It's a great way to introduce young kids to Nebraska football.
Absolutely.
And it is cost-effective at a time where nothing is cost-effective.
Yeah, true.
And
Except
so
for McDonald's coffee's cost-effective.
Is it still
$1.52?
Still pretty cheap.
That's jumped up 52 cents from
still pretty cost
it used to be
effective,
$1 for a long time, right?
No.
This is the expert here, Schaefer.
You're talking to someone who goes to McDonald's 700 times a year.
Okay.
It was $1.19 for a long time, but it's
Okay.
been holding fast at $1.52 for at least 5 years.
Oh, well, that's pretty good.
That's
All right,
pretty
keep
solid.
rolling. Keep rolling. Oh,
How dare you slander
But,
McDonald's coffee prices?
Well, the rest of their prices have gone up. I can't
That's
speak
fair.
to that as someone who doesn't go to McDonald's 700 times, but maybe more than he ever should. I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, we actually, again, timing being fortuitous, I did a podcast yesterday with the Husker 24/7 guys and threw out, a handful of ideas. And I don't think any of these are like what people want, but I think it's a good alternative. And the big thing here is Nebraska has an opportunity to take the spring game, and then make it something else in August, like they did last year with the 1890 open practice. If you take that and you advertise that you're going to have this open practice, this open thing in fall camp, the money is going to largely go towards NIL or whatever it is. NIL is undergoing its own change every 2 minutes, but whatever it is, you have an opportunity to do something like that can kind of replace this. It's never going to replace the spring game as it is, but you could allow people to see and experience and then also generate revenue towards something. And you're going to have a lot more time to advertise that than they did. They threw it together last year, and they still got a few thousand people to show up.
Okay.
And so if you push that and you make that a thing, that could kind of take the place of what the spring game was.
You're suggesting this happens in August.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that could be. I mean,
So as for what happens on
April 26th,
I suggested flipping, you have that August practice. What if you just made the April thing your new fan day, and you create a new fan day experience for it?
Okay.
And so you still have a fan experience, and it's happening this time in the spring, and they can still get involved with the players, and there's still different things that you could try to do and come up with that way. You could do a 7-on-7 tournament. You could do, a variety of different things, but I just don't think you're going to have the spring game.
Okay, so what we should say this, Jake. We should make clear this: what we're talking about. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen on April 26th. That's the last practice of the spring.
Okay, so 15th practice. Which again, the other aspect
15th.
of all of this,
yes,
as much as fans care about the spring game, and I don't know that everyone does, but a subset of Nebraska fans absolutely do.
Of course they do.
The players and the coaches have never, as long as I've been covering it, it has never been nearly as important to them, because it is the 15th practice, as it is to fans. And
sure,
right. Part of my annoyance with it is that we overemphasize everything that we see that happens in that one practice that may not have occurred at any point in the previous 14, but because that one is the visible one, it kicks everything off into the summer, and you have all these conversations about players that may or may not even be in that position by the time you get to fall camp.
Sure. Yeah, all of that is true. The thing I just want to zoom out a little bit. The most interesting part of the conversation to me is this, and I'm a little older than you, but it just became so important to us. I mean, it became a part of the fabric of our existence. It's not,
and it also fed the content machine, and then it gave us stuff to write about afterwards. And so we're guilty of making this bigger than it is on our own too.
Guilty. So it's an interesting thing, because change is always kind of interesting, and this is a pretty big change.
Yeah.
Now, Rule, I think his AD almost took a bullet for him in announcing this last night. I think that was good. And now Matt has to come up with something, or the athletic department has to come up with something that maybe is entertaining. That's easier said than done.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really difficult.
It's easier said.
And you're going to have a lot of people that are like, I don't want to go that, or that sounds stupid.
Right.
But then think about it. If you would have explained to someone who didn't have any experience about what a spring game was, you're like, you're going to go watch these guys practice.
You can't lose.
Okay.
It's a win-win situation, right? So Nebraska fans, cheap to get in, and you're watching Nebraska football. As Bill pointed out yesterday, I mean, it's sad for the businesses in this town, though. If you don't have a spring game, again, I know it's a practice, like you said, it's always a practice, but it is an event for the city, as you said, and for the state. And people come and they stay the weekend, and they enjoy some time in late April in Lincoln, and go to the restaurants, the bars, and that's a big hit for the city.
It is.
Without that weekend of entertainment here.
Well, hey, maybe you can get a band on a nostalgia tour, and they can have a concert on the stadium, and you can still bring people in.
Now you're
talking. There's we don't have to pretend like the only way that people come to Lincoln is if Nebraska football is playing. I know that is a huge driver of economics in this city, but there are so many different things that we can talk about, or that could be enacted, that can still try to help replace this. You're not going to have the football game.
Well, we should.
I think that's the biggest thing out of it. And so once you remove Nebraska football as a game out of the equation, what can you do? And then accept that you're probably losing more than half, if not 70%, of the people that would have come down for it.
Well, this is where Troy Dannon would interject. Troy Dannon, the AD, he said, I'm internally thinking more of a fall sports preview, and maybe engaging volleyball or soccer in some way, shape, or form. Really celebrate the fall sports and what the appetite for what lies ahead. Now, he said the football staff will figure out what they want to do over the next few weeks. So, I mean, they haven't decided what they're going to do, but it also could involve other athletes on campus. So what I'm getting from you, Mike, is you're pretty open-minded.
Yeah, I think you have to be. Yeah. I don't think this is I think that you want some kind of event that showcases your university, or however you want to phrase it. And you'd like football to be involved because it has been for the eternity. I don't know when spring games really became a thing. I would assume the
Osborne.
90s.
Yeah, Osborne.
Were people showing up in droves in the 80s for this?
You'd be surprised about this. Even when Osborne was the coach, no, they weren't. It didn't become a really, really well-attended event until Callahan, Bill Callahan. That's when the spring game took off. Bill's first year.
Okay.
When Frank was the coach, there would be spring games that had 20,000, 25,000 people. Not bad, but not 70.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, not 70. So it took off with Bill Callahan.
Okay.
That's when it took off.
Yeah, I mean, my first experience with it would have been in the 90s. My family went because it was an event tied to Boy Scouts. Like they invited Boy Scout troops to the stadium for free. If you got it set up, you could get tours of different things.
And what do you remember the crowd like?
I don't have like a strong memory of the crowd at that point. And when you're small, everything seems enormous.
I think it would probably been in the 30,000
range. Yeah. And so, I mean, that was my initial experience with it. And then it was one of those things that as I got older, I never attended it again until I was in college. And then I started attending it as a media person in 2009, and it never stopped. 2012, best year ever. Big thunderstorm.
That's right.
I remember that. Yeah, I was in college for that.
Nebraska had a ton of basketball players on campus. It was
the year Jaleel Okafor
the whole
was on
city
campus?
of Chicago. Yeah,
Jaleel Okafor.
Yep. The Simeon
5-star went to Duke.
Chicago Simeon, like all of those kids. So
we're getting people reporting from the 80s. Kent says, my college times were from 83 to 87. There was maybe 8,000 people at the spring game.
It was little, yeah.
That's kind of impressive, though.
Joe in Boulder says he went to a lot of spring games in the 80s. You could walk up to a ticket booth outside the stadium, pay $3 and walk in. It was great. He says maybe 20,000 at some point in attendance for those ones.
Wow.
Raph weighs in via text. Our Raph. 83 spring game. Turner Gill was playing baseball at Buck at the same time. Turner Gill. Those were the days.
Those better times?
What do you think?
If you have any questions for Mike Schaefer, please text us 402-464-5685. More next with Schaefer on Early Break in the Ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Busch. Sponsored by Midwest Bank on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT, from cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
Hey farmers, Boyd Farm Outfitters is hosting a product expo at their facility near Exeter on Tuesday, February 11th. They'll introduce the newest products from Precision Planting and demo the Quick Draw Spray Tender System. They'll give you an up-close look at the Green Eye Select Spraying System, reveal the future of soybean traits, and much more. Stay up to date with the newest technologies in agriculture and learn how your farm can save time and money to become more efficient. Visit BoydFarmOutfitters.com for more information, and they'll see you on the 11th.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solutions offers fleet services, as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2024 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see a chance of showers throughout the day. Otherwise, cloudy skies and an afternoon high near 50. Tonight, the chance of showers continues over that low around 32. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies returning with a light breeze and an afternoon high near 51. I'm meteorologist Kyle Tucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Men's health is not a game at Limitless Male. It's serious medicine. We're not a West Coast franchise with a one-size-fits-all approach. Every man is different. Some men require more or less testosterone to feel their best. At Limitless Male, we safely monitor your labs and symptoms along the way and adjust your treatment as needed. The only thing cookie cutter about Limitless Male, the incredible results men brag about. Schedule your free consult at limitlessmale.com.
Landmark Implement, your John Deere dealer, invites you to their annual sprayer clinic at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney on February 5th and 6th. This hands-on event offers expert training on John Deere and Hagie sprayers, covering topics such as machine maintenance, spray tip selection, and exact apply technology. New this year, classes on autonomy preparation, see and spray, and variable rate operation. Don't miss this opportunity, February 5th and 6th in Kearney. Learn more at landmarkimp.com/events.
Attention all wing fans! Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 89-cent boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.29 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today at 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Travis with Midwest Bank, now with 2 branches conveniently serving Lincoln and 8 other locations across Nebraska. We're here to help you with any of your needs. From opening a checking account to buying a home or financing your business, our staff is here for you. Stop in and you might see Shin Daddy himself. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank, member FDIC.
We're on the air. Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
To more of Early Break on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Once again, the Mike Schaefer Hour is sponsored by Ben Spurk of Farm Bureau Financial Services. Please call Ben or text him at 402-217-9945 to help with all your insurance needs and questions. We will get to John Cook here in a second.
John Cook.
Yeah, John Cook, you may have heard, has retired as of yesterday. Bill Busch is phoned in, though. Bill has a comment.
Wait a second.
Bill wanted to call in for a minute or so. Bill, what's on your mind today, Bill? You're calling back in from the road.
Who is this Bill we're
Bill
talking
Busch,
to?
the three-legged stool, our third member. Yeah, go ahead, Bill. What's going on?
On the road, I apologize. We were so crammed up, but there was a bit of news that I just had to get out. As you know, myself and Steve are great friends of Bert Lingenfelter. But last night, his brother, Bob, a legendary player at Nebraska, Bob Lingenfelter, passed away.
Oh.
And Bert reached out to me last night and just talked about how much he loved the show and how much a lot of the people claimed he loved the show. And then just what an important player Bob was here. He was all Big 8. He was a Playboy All-American. second team Kodak All-American offensive lineman from right here in the state of Nebraska back in the 70s, playing for Coach Osborne. And it was just a tough situation that Bert got hold of me last night that I had passed away from a heart attack. And so I just wanted to report that to the great Husker fans of everyone in the state and reach out to Bert and have his family and everybody in his prayers.
Thank you,
Thank
Bill.
you, Bill.
Bob Lingenfelter, huge name in that era. I mean, it was a huge name. And Bert's a great man. His kids played for Nebraska. So thank you, Bill. Thank you, Bill, for that.
Morning.
We'll talk
Morning
about
to the
that
room.
more tomorrow.
We will. As we mentioned,
Thank you, Bill.
John Cook, of course, retires about 4:40. There's been some reports. Was it 4:37 or 4:42? Sip
hardly
thinks he was
matters.
5 minutes ahead of the news when it happened. But
No,
regardless,
I just my recollection on my truck was 4:37.
Well, do we know what your truck is tuned? Is it tuned to actual time, or are you one of those 5 minutes ahead, 5 behind?
It's actual.
Okay. All right.
What do you guys call it?
atomic clock. Yeah.
Jake, you are very.
Thank you. That atomic clock is 2 minutes short on time. It's slow.
So
But
John Cook, we talked about it earlier, Schaefer. Rarely can you say about a coach in any realm that he elevated an entire sport. Would you agree with that?
I don't know how I could disagree with it. I mean, even if you wanted to be the biggest contrarian in the world, you couldn't really disagree.
Well, me and you
with
are known to be contrarian.
I don't intend to be. I just have opinions that might go against the grain sometimes. But with John Cook, I mean, and what you're talking about there, I mean, think about the state of volleyball in Nebraska. Think about how many volleyball players are produced in a state of roughly 2 million people or what? I don't know. What is?
Yeah, it's 2 million about. It is.
How many of these D1 volleyball players are, and they're not just, it's not just Omaha producing them. It's everywhere. I mean, you have people playing volleyball across the Midwest, or in some cases going, out east or out west, because they originate here in Nebraska, where volleyball is king in terms of high school sports and producing, D1 athletes. And it emanates from the strength of Nebraska's volleyball program. And then on top of it, not only is it great D1 athletes, high school level here, Creighton volleyball is great. Omaha volleyball is great. You don't think they get the residual effect of Nebraska and what John Cook has helped build and everything else? And obviously it started with Terry Pettit, and it wasn't.
Thank you
like
for mentioning that.
It wasn't like, this was nothing. I mean, John Cook inherited
a very good program,
an outstanding program, and Terry Pettit won a national title.
He won, he did.
Terry Pettit's kind of a voice of volleyball here, and has been for a long time. But what John Cook has done, and listening to kind of some retrospective stuff yesterday from people that have covered that program, he basically half of his career, he was in the Final Four.
Well, yeah, he coached 25 years and made 12 Final Fours.
I mean, that is incredible.
Yeah.
It's just like absolutely incredible. And then on top of it, think of how many great players have come through here that he was able to identify, evaluate, develop, push along in their careers. I mean, I was fortunate when I went to school. It felt like it was the heyday of Nebraska volleyball, because when I was there, you had, Pavin and Larson and all of these great players. But you talk to anyone that was a student at the University of Nebraska during any point in Cook's 25 years, they would talk about the players.
Heyday.
Think about this, though, Schaefer.
There was no heyday because it was 25 years of hay. 25 years of hay.
25 years, 72 All-Americans.
Unbelievable.
3 players of the year, 72 All-Americans.
4 natties.
And 12 Final Fours.
Untold amount of times where, and the last 2 years, I think, are great examples where I was talking with Brents about this. It's inconceivable to me that they didn't win a national title with this team or the last 2 years because of how loaded it was. But that's also shows you like how good this sport is, by the way.
Right. They lost
and
in
like
the finals.
The talent
and
throughout is just tremendous. And so, I mean, John Cook has had an incredible career. He's sort of a fascinating individual. I know you have a good relationship with him, and he, I'm not shocked by the timing of it. I had heard over the last couple of years that this sort of was in place, that Nebraska, and it was in her contract. She wasn't going to be able to go anywhere without a buyout.
Danny Busboom Kelly
wasn't going to be Nebraska. And, she's married to a former Nebraska football player.
Lane Kelly.
And she obviously is a Nebraskan. This was kind of always pointing in this direction. And I had heard that kind of the idea was that Cook wanted to set her up with as talented of a team, maybe leave after a national title, and it just didn't happen these last.
We'll get some particulars today, John.
Yeah, because he's meeting with the media
at 10 a.m. I don't know. Now, the one of the most interesting things I read yesterday in this story was that one of the recruits, I think Jaden Robinson is her name, was shocked by this. She was shocked. She said she was shocked. So a lot of people didn't. I mean, people very close.
Well, I
didn't
think
know.
It was a pretty closed deal.
Right.
But
it was closed deal.
There's also this aspect that it wasn't just when it was best for Cook. You have another person in Danny Busboom Kelly that has options. There's schools that likely would have been pursuing her.
100.
And she might have simply reached out and said, "Hey, this is a good time for me if it's a good time for you." She's about to have another child here this year too.
She is.
And so it's not like the timing is 100% perfect. And I'm sure no one would have expected a random Wednesday in January, when this whole thing kind of was put together. But I think it works really well. I love the symmetry of how they told their players and their teams at the same time. I think in an age where everything gets out and gets spoiled and gets revealed and people learn about their fates based on Twitter and social media, this was really cool.
It was refreshing,
really
wasn't
cool.
it?
Yeah. I mean, it was refreshing. It kind of felt like
this is the way it
years
should
ago,
This is the way it should be.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if should.
I mean, we have to be careful in our shoes to say that because people say, "Well, you guys don't want to, aren't you in the news of, aren't you in the business of breaking news?" Yes, we are, but
to a degree. But
if it happens like this, it's fine. I mean, this is for the greater good.
Very rarely am I upset if news that I have gets out before I am able to put it.
Especially something like this.
Well, this is a big deal.
This was appropriate. I'm glad and it's in fitting. John's very classy, and he's always run a very classy program. And I like the fact that this got out in a classy manner.
Yeah.
It was handled very well.
I love that you have the announcement, and then how many minutes between the announcement of Cook and the announcement of
it was, I think, 17 minutes is what it was.
Yeah.
17, at least on Twitter.
Okay. So I had 15 minutes in my head, and I love that too, because you had just the amount of time to allow for, whoa, this is happening. And then you don't get what is Nebraska going to do? And we have to race to put out a hot board.
Put a hot board out.
All of these, there was no hot board.
There was this one person.
There was no hot board.
Basically one, right?
Jordan Larson was never going to be Nebraska's volleyball coach.
No.
I mean, there's a lot that was on Twitter last night that was not anywhere near the level of where this thing was always going to go. And so I'm glad they did it like that too. We didn't need the unnecessary time in between. And I think one of the cool things about this, and I don't know John Cook personally, but just listening to people that have talked about this in the last 12 hours, he's not the kind of guy that would have wanted a farewell tour. He wouldn't have wanted to do this before a season. No. He wouldn't have wanted to been presented a rocking chair
at every stop.
Indiana or, whatever it was. I think he appreciates what Nebraska volleyball has been for him. I think he knows that Nebraska and Nebraska fans appreciate what he's been for Nebraska volleyball. Mm-hmm. He didn't need the Derek Jeter retirement tour.
Right.
Or Coach K.
Right. And I shouldn't be so hard on people that have farewell tours. I'm just aversive. I
just said as someone, if he was that influential on the sport of volleyball,
sure, I get it, Jake.
I understand where it would happen for him. But
it's not like he's going to just disappear forever, though I do imagine he will be on a ranch somewhere with his horse.
Alta, Wyoming.
It's kind of disappearing.
He's not
kind of disappearing.
He's not just going to go away forever.
No, and I'm not saying he's going to live full time in Alta. I don't want to intimate. I know his plans, but he has a place in Alta. He does his team roping. He likes that life out there.
He's been away from his family a little bit. I don't know that everyone probably knows that, but it's not like everyone has been here in Lincoln since its kids have grown up, and it's just a different situation. And I don't know what his exact age is, but it probably
68.
Yeah, it probably felt like it was time.
68 years old. Sorry.
We have a quick phone call if someone wants to chime in on the situation. We got Paul. No, never mind. Paul's gone. Drop Paul. Just kidding. Paul's gone.
We move on. The way I'd put it in, I mean, there's a couple ways I put the whole thing in perspective. We've kind of covered it, but Mike, I would say it got to the point with me where you kind of take for granted the success. And I always took it for granted in this form. If they didn't make the Final Four, I was surprised.
Yeah.
One day it hit me. Wow, they're that good. They're that good that if they don't make the Final Four, you're surprised. You moved to a strange level at that point.
I think they lost in the Sweet 16 to Wisconsin in 2008 or 2007, somewhere in that range. And that was like one of those stunning, I can't believe this just happened.
Same when they lost against Oregon, too.
They lost to Oregon. That match
also.
was just phenomenal.
That was a Sweet 16?
Yeah.
Sweet 16,
I mean, it was also like, I can't believe this just happened. And that was like a 5-set clash.
It was, yeah. Nebraska's up 2-0 in that one.
Yeah.
And got reverse swept.
Well,
against Oregon.
Unfortunately, how it went with Penn
State. Same thing.
Yeah.
This is it is, and I'm not trying to pour cold water on anything, but you can't take for granted that it's just going to keep moving at this level. You just can't. We've seen it at Nebraska where it did. We're seeing it at Alabama football right now. You don't know.
I think we have a pretty great example locally of passing it off to someone that had worked with you or that you have familiarity with. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to stay on that track in Osborne to Solish.
Right.
So,
exactly.
I mean, but the difference to me is that Danny Busboom-Kelly, I'm not going to pretend like I'm any authority on Louisville volleyball.
Right.
But I can't imagine they were on the level that they are now since she's been coaching.
Right. No, if anybody has a chance to keep it rolling, it's Danny Busboom-Kelly.
Yep.
That's the best way to put it.
Runner up this year with Louisville to Penn State in the finals. So she's had very, 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 very good success with the Cardinals.
Yeah, think about Nebraska volleyball. We've been having these conversations. Pettit won his national title in 1995. We've been enjoying incredible success. Nebraska volleyball's incredible success even before that. It was, I mean, Terry had the program going in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
The 90s, guys. We're talking, 35 years.
Well, once again, congrats to John Cook on his retirement, and congrats to Danny Busboom-Kelly for being the new head coach for volleyball. And we look forward to hearing the comments from John Cook today at his retirement press conference. It is time to play
the game show.
Give us a call right now at 464-5685. Have a chance to take down Sip and Schaefer in trivia. Sip is 1-2 on the week. You won yesterday.
Pretty nice winning percentage, though. If you're a baseball team, you'd feel pretty good about your chances of making the playoffs right now.
What is it?
66 and 53.
Yeah, you're trending toward the playoffs right now. Trending toward the playoffs.
I'm not thrilled. I mean, we were 15 games over at one point. So,
well, you can get back to 14.
Let's do this.
Today's topic is college locations. What cities are these schools located in?
Huh.
Okay.
Not throwback. Not throwback today.
Suspect we're going to get some conferences that aren't the Big 10 or the Big 12 here.
Huh.
If you think you know your locations of colleges and universities, please call us right now at 464-5685. Shut Up Sipple starts right now.
We've all been there. You're listening to the radio, and then that rage starts to grow inside of you. It starts to consume you. It gets to a point where you just want to yell, "Shut up, Sipple!" No, sorry. I'm sorry. Well, here's your chance. It's time to shut up, Sipple. Call now to play. 464-5685. Shut up, Sipple. Brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
All right, 464-5685. Call to take down Sip and Schaefer in trivia. Again, our topic today is college locations. You guys feel okay about this?
You're going to name the college. We're going to name the location.
That is correct. Yep, that's what we're doing today.
Very difficult. This is a difficult topic. It's difficult. You'll make it difficult.
Well, we'll see what happens
you
here.
We should make it difficult.
We have James. James, how do you feel about college locations today?
Oh, pretty good.
James feels good.
Schaefer. Hello, James.
Hey, what's up, Sipple?
Not much.
Schaefer is a lifeline for Sip for one question as always. James, first question.
Hello, Mike Schaefer.
Hello. James is very friendly today. James, first question to you. What city is Arkansas State University located in?
That would be in Jonesboro.
Brilliant!
Without hesitation.
Sipple, did you know that one?
No.
Okay, well, I would have jumped in there.
No, you would have gotten it? Jonesboro.
If he said it without hesitation, I'm concerned for you.
I think this is going to be a tough game for you.
1-0
My wife's
lead.
cousin played D1 basketball there.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
My wife's cousin played D1 women's basketball there.
Wife's cousin.
that would help to have a tie there.
Okay, so maybe there is life.
1-0 lead for James. Sip, first question. Schaefer's in play. What city is Appalachian State University located in?
I have this.
The floor is yours, Mike.
Boone, North Carolina.
Brilliant.
No way.
It is beautiful. Search Boone, North Carolina on Google Images, and then plan to go to a Thursday night football game.
Okay.
Look at their baseball stadium. Also,
The baseball one looks awesome.
Yeah.
It's like right in the
Jake,
forest.
I didn't even know North Carolina. So
What do you guess for a state? West
I
Virginia?
don't get
West Virginia, probably.
Don't do this to me.
All right, James, 1-1 tie. It's just you and Sip now. Schaefer's out. What city is Yukon located in?
I know that.
James?
University of Connecticut.
Yes.
That would be in Stores. Brilliant.
Covered a game there, Jake.
You've been to Stores?
Yeah, I covered a women's basketball game there back in the day of the Paul Sanderford era. Yes.
Against Gino?
Yes, it was against Gene.
How'd they do?
Nebraska lost, but Nebraska was a very good team at that time.
You've been to Stores. All right.
Yeah, covered a game there.
All right, well, you're on your own. Schaefer helped you out with Boone, North Carolina. Sip for the tie. What city is South Alabama University located in?
Oh, Jake, seriously?
What city is
South
Alabama in? Nebraska's played South Alabama before in football and baseball. Somewhat recent years.
I don't know this one. I thought I was going to be able to go 4 for 4.
Can't even name many towns in Alabama. I'm going to say Mobile.
Brilliant.
And you would be correct. It is
Look at
Mobile,
you.
Alabama.
That's total luck, but I'll take it.
And this will go to James. You'll go over under James's number here.
Okay.
James, this is for you. California has the most Division I colleges of any state in the country. How many D1 schools do they have in the state of California? Nebraska has 3. Creighton, UNO, UNL. How many does California have?
Jeez.
Let's go 10.
Oh, way over. Way over.
Brilliant.
And what would you have guessed for a number?
I'm saying in the 20s.
28.
23.
24. James, nice try. We'll get you back on the coffee, but thanks for calling in and calling down the road.
Thank you.
No, he's depressed.
That was a broken bat flare into right field to get a guy on with 2 outs in the 9th.
Yep.
And then you hammered the next pitch for a walk-off.
Look at that.
Incredible.
Schaefer's in baseball mode right now.
You are in baseball mode.
Spring training's
football
firing up
season's
there,
over.
Thank you for getting Appalachian State for me. That helped a lot.
I did not know that South
I did not
Alabama
know
was in
Mobile. Yep. By the way, New York second with 22 D1 schools. California first with 24.
22 in the state of New York.
Yes.
I wouldn't have guessed that. I would not have guessed that. I would have more guessed like 12.
No, you'd be wrong. You were
All
close in your guess for California,
Yes,
though.
one off.
So that's now a 2-2 week. A
Look at
chance for a
beautiful
winning
Boone, North Carolina.
You know, that is gorgeous.
Wait till you see the baseball.
When we come back, we'll talk a little Husker hoops with Schaefer and also Roco Spindler. Update
All
there
right.
with Schaefer. That's next on Early Break in the Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Busch. Sponsored by Midwest Bank. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com. Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Bagels and Joe is the best place to start off your mornings, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. You can't go wrong with one of their great bagel sandwiches or breakfast burritos. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln or their location in Seward. Bagels and Joe. Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting book. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional. They are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com. Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at doorsplusllc.com or give them a call at 402-590-5800.
Right now, when you drive by Honda of Lincoln, you'll see more than 200 new Hondas and over 125 pre-owned vehicles. Hi, Charlie Stone here, and with me on the line is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, how does it feel to have so many vehicles in stock again for your customers?
Charlie, it feels amazing to see how excited our customers are. They love the ability to see, test drive, and take immediate delivery of the exact new Honda they're looking for.
Do you have some good offers to talk about?
We sure do, Charlie. We're offering financing as low as 0.9% APR up to 72 months, or great lease rates on every new Honda. It's the perfect time to drive away in the new Honda you've been dreaming of.
How about pre-owned, Andy?
We have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Just about every make and model with prices starting at under $10,000.
Maybe it's time you experience the best, the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Time for a new heating and cooling system? Get the options, brand, and efficiency that best fits your family and your home. Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
We're on the air. Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
To more of Early Break on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is time for the spillover with Chris Raff. Also, Mike Schaefer still with us here, sponsored by Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One Love, Raff, and Schaefer. We have not gotten to Nebraska basketball, who plays tonight, 7:30 against Illinois.
Oh, sorry.
No,
you're good.
Oh, you just with his headphones.
It makes me laugh because you'd think you'd remember from the, I don't know, hundreds of appearances you've had in this building.
Now, We did an exercise on Monday where I want us to guess the spread of Nebraska, Illinois, and I guessed, because I was distraught and upset, that they'd be an 8 to 10 point favorite against Nebraska.
My reaction was, what?
You said that's too high.
You got to be kidding me.
And what did you guess as the spread?
I think I was set to 2.5, 2.5.
Oh, wow. Well, I asked Bill this morning before he left what his guess was, and he had guessed 4.5, and that's what it is. 4.5. 4.5.
I would have guessed 5.5.
4.5 is the hook, is the spread tonight.
That still seems high, and if this were a gambling show, I'd say I'd take Nebraska in this scenario.
A team that's lost 6 straight games.
Not to necessarily win, but to cover.
They would have covered that number in half of those games.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then just been outside of it in one of them.
Raph, what do you think?
In 2 of them.
Chris Raph.
Well, this game could go 2 ways. Either they win or it's a rough one. So, yeah, no.
That's in-depth analysis there, Raph.
They're just so hard to read right now. Like that that game on Sunday, I mean, there was nothing. So I'm hoping that they find their energy tonight and they get back to that gritty way of basketball. You know what? They were synonymous for it. It's felt like over these past 6 games they forgot who they were.
Their identity a little bit. Fred talked about that yesterday. That they need to be, like you say, like a gritty, hard-nosed defensive team, and they sort of lost that for some reason during these past few games. That the thing to watch, and I don't know that any of us can do this. It's always a matchup issue. I mean, you always look, what's the matchup like? Is it a good matchup? I'd say if it's the Illinois team that we've become accustomed to, it's not a great matchup. They're, for one thing, they hammer the offensive boards. They're one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the league, if not the best. And they're very athletic. Nebraska's had some trouble with very athletic teams.
That's the thing. I mean, every Illinois team seems to be just full of really long-limbed guys that fly down the court, that play at a speed that Nebraska can't play at.
Right.
That can attack the rim. I mean,
right.
And it's not Shannon's not on this team, but I have nightmares of watching him just like deciding, I'm going to the hole, stop it. I'm going to the hole, stop it. You know, and Nebraska, I think, is going to have a tough time keeping him off the glass. They're going to have a tough time stopping second chance points. And then the other thing is, even for as athletic as Illinois is, they still can shoot the ball if you leave them wide open in the corners.
Yeah.
And
but
this is a tough game because I don't know that Nebraska has the athleticism to match Illinois for 40 minutes.
Easy. Now, I agree with you to a point, but look at what's happened to Illinois. They lost on their home court to USC. Lost on their home court to Maryland.
Got beat by 22 points to Maryland.
My retort to that, though, and I know that Fred wants them to get back to the gritty defense. What's killing them is they can't score. Right. They have no one that can put the ball in the basket, which is a large part of the sport.
That's the sport.
And when Bryce Williams looks like he's on a walkabout, he doesn't look like the same guy at all right now.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have your best offensive weapon. You don't know if you're getting Juwan Gary 27 points or Juwan Gary 6 of 21.
Right. You don't.
You don't know if Connor Essegian is going through the hoop or can't even find the rim.
Right.
Like, and I'm not trying to
that's okay.
Be facetious or, cynical or whatever. They are going through it offensively. And even when they played well, they took a Maryland team that is really playing well in the Big Ten right now, took them down to the wire. Had an opportunity
on the road,
couldn't do it, and part of it was they couldn't score. They gave up 73 points or whatever it was, and they could not score enough points to win that game.
Yeah,
that is difficult.
Yeah, but none of us would be surprised if they won tonight, right? Am I wrong?
I think they have the ability to win. This isn't my favorite matchup.
I might be the most surprised of anybody in the room. I just think they've lost it.
You think they've lost?
I think they've lost. I think they've lost
on the Jake
completely.
Pendulum. He is towards the fatalism.
I'm a fatalist right now. I mean, they didn't play at Wisconsin. They have not showed up 3 times in these 6 games, and the other 3 that they've lost close games that are just heartbreaking.
You also know 2 things though, that teams can get into a rut. They can also get out. You also know that the schedule becomes much more forgiving down the stretch.
If they have a night where they come out and they shoot well, which they are capable of doing. and win this game, it could be a catalyst for a lot of things. It absolutely can be. And I wouldn't take that off the table. I'm just worried that they are so far mired in the muck.
That's the thing.
That are they able to pull themselves out of it?
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing is, it is a home game, and they have played better at home. And so you're hoping that holds true again tonight.
Schaefer, last thing before I let you go, we've not got it. Can you give us any update on Roco Spindler, the Notre Dame transfer lineman who's looking at Nebraska? What's the update with him?
Yeah, I mean, we're getting late into the night. He's going to have to make a decision relatively soon to be able to enroll at Nebraska. He's already passed the last day of enrollment, though I'm guessing the football staff would have an ability to get someone into the college should they need to. I think you're hoping that he doesn't end up taking a visit to Michigan. I don't know who else is really in this. It feels like Nebraska and Michigan have fought over the same lineman 75 times in this cycle. And then weirdly, neither the linemen haven't ended up at either one of those schools when that's been the case. So I'm fascinated to see how that plays out, because I think I kind of have talked myself into what that offensive line picture would look like should he come to Nebraska.
Which would be a good picture.
Yeah, I think you'd move Justin Evans to center, and you'd have Lutovsky and Spindler as your interior, and Lutovsky better than I think people probably gave him credit for last year.
Well, I mean, the offensive line wasn't bad, and you'd probably have Elijah Pritchett at left tackle, and then sort of a battle at right tackle. I don't Gunner. I mean, I'm not saying Gunner would surrender his left tackle job, but you could move him over to right.
I'm very nervous about Elijah Pritchett at left tackle, because I think he struggled so heavily at right tackle.
A lot of pressures.
Now, here's the thing, though. They're paying him in excess of $1 million not to come in and, well, maybe he'll play. Maybe, I mean, usually that means they earmark.
He might be playing.
I think he's going to play.
Just the concern about
I would probably feel
how
better if it was right tackle than at left tackle.
It could be right, too. It could be
you know, we'll see what happens. They have a mash unit at left tackle. So who out of Gatula, Prohaska, Corcoran is available for you? Can Corcoran play right tackle better than he's played left tackle? I mean, that was what the picture was supposed to be all the way back in 2021 before everything fell apart.
Well, the good news is at tackle, I guess you have options. I mean, you have options.
You do have options. Grant Briggs, is he playing guard or tackle?
That's Schaefer's boy. It's the guy.
I think he's kind of caught in that in between where he could end up at guard or he could stay out at tackle. He's not going to be a left tackle. I think he's Turner Corcoran or Farniak or, all of these guys that are just kind of that tweener. It just depends on where the staff wants to put him.
It'd be nice if someone like that emerged.
And I think he's a year away still.
Yeah, and that's okay. That's okay to be.
Well, I think the third year, Matt Rule's talked about it. The third year is where you want to see your offensive lineman. It's hard to just come in and move these people. Like an offensive lineman that can play as a true freshman is as rare as it gets in this sport.
Gunner held up really well.
I was impressed. I was very, very impressed by what Gunner Gatula did.
Oh, yeah. That was beautiful.
Schaefer, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
You. The Drive is next. We will see you guys tomorrow.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time